Reputation, reputation, reputation. Oh, I've lost my reputation. I've lost the immortal part of myself, and what remains is the style. Cassio mentions this to Iago in Shakespeare's famous play Othello. This is pretty much Tyson's Fury's state right now, after the collapse of the undisputed fight with Oleksandr Usyk. After weeks of negotiations, after weeks of back and forth on social media, after weeks of unreasonable demands from the Fury side, the fight has fallen through. Fury must take the fall for this, as Usyk basically agreed to all his demands, despite having three belts to Fury's one. Once again, the politics in boxing have prevented the fans from getting to see an undisputed heavyweight champion. Despite Fury claiming that Usyk would be an easy fight and he would destroy the middleweight, he has in reality priced himself out of the fight. The fight was initially supposed to take place in Saudi Arabia, but it didn't materialize because the money wasn't there. Then it was decided to take place at Wembley. It was Tyson Fury's home, and he was the bigger draw. There were disagreements about the splits, and then came on social media and offered Usyk a 70-30 split, despite having one belt. To his wild imagination, Usyk accepted the deal on one condition that Fury donated £1 million to Ukraine charity. It was also said that the offer was for April 29th at Wembley. After agreeing for the fight, Fury now wanted to get rid of the rematch clause. It was one unreasonable demand after the other. Usyk agreed to a 70-30 split and wanted a lion's share of the purse in the rematch if he won. It was a pretty fair deal by any standard, but Fury wanted a 50-50 share in the rematch as well. It was beyond the integrity of Usyk to agree to such an unfair deal. An honorable fighter that Usyk is, who goes to people's backyard and beats them, he refused to agree to such a deal, and hence once again the fans lose out on the chance of seeing an undisputed champion. Tyson Fury has a history of making such unreasonable demands. Who can forget the deadlines after deadlines he gave to Anthony Joshua to fight him? Eddie Hearn and George Warren worked overtime to get that fight across the line. But guess what? It was Fury again who became impatient and the fight never got made. If the people were ready to give him the benefit of doubt then, they are surely not going to do the same now. So that raises the bigger question. Does Fury really want to fight Usyk? The answer might lie in their last few fights. Fury fought Chisora and White in his last two fights and won them both by knockout. However, he wasn't in the best shape for either of those fights. Neither White nor Chisora had the skill or the fitness to force Fury in the later rounds. Even in victory, Fury didn't look his best. He won because he was the better fighter and he was more skilled. Even in his last fight with Deontay Wilder, he looked tired in the last few rounds. He won because Wilder was more exhausted than he was. Now compare that to Usyk's last two fights. It was against a prime Anthony Joshua. In both those fights, Usyk dominated AJ, and he only became stronger as the fight progressed. He was still bobbing and weaving in the last round. Despite AJ hurting him in the last fight, Usyk still won by a large margin. The Ukrainian is a prize fighter who doesn't slow down and who is the most skilled fighter in the heavyweight division right now. Even Tyson Fury knows it. He might not acknowledge it. Fury has a huge advantage over Usyk when it comes to height and weight and reach. But Usyk is by far the superior boxer. Chances are that Fury might not be able to knock him out. What will happen then? Usyk doesn't slow down like Fury's previous opponents, and he is difficult to hit as well. So it will be very hard for Tyson Fury because Usyk comes well prepared. If Steve Cunningham can knock Fury down, Usyk can hurt him as well. Maybe that played a part in Tyson's mind and plans to face Usyk because Usyk agreed to every single one of his demands. He called his bluff, and for the first time, Usyk probably won the mind games as well. Let me know in the comment section what you feel, and if you like the content, please like and subscribe to the channel.